thank you everyone for allowing me to address your conference as a keynote speaker. Thank you for that. Now, I will confess right at the beginning that I'm not going to pretend to be the Greek oracle at Delphi, because no one knows what's going to happen, probably not during the next month and certainly not during the next year. I saw on television here in the UK recently a meeting of chief executive officers of the airline industry. I think there are about 10 of them, and I can tell you that there were 10 totally different views about the future of the airline industry. So as I say, I'm not going to pretend to be the oracle at Delphi. What I will do, however, is make this keynote interesting, challenging, and I do hope, ladies and gentlemen, more than anything else, enjoyable. So let me start by giving you some backcloth to marketing in this COVID-19 driven recession. I mean, the first thing I want to say is that the rules of competition have certainly changed, and you'll see a number of bullet points on this graphic. The first one says anorexia industrialosa, which of course is the classic response of directors at times like this. It's understandable and it's necessary, but not in the way it's done. I call anorexia industrialosa an excessive desire to be leaner and fitter, leading to emaciation and eventually death. And I ask how many cents are there in a dollar, and so on and so forth. That's clearly finite. Whereas what we do, the people who are attending this conference, what we do is infinite, because we do business strategy and marketing, and that is only limited. We create value for customers, and that's only limited by our creativity and imagination. So more about anorexia industrialosa later on. And I will say this, that cost cutting is not a strategy. Let's get that one out of the way. The next point is the take, make, sell, waste model is finished, purely and simply because it's no longer sustainable because of the lack of natural resources in the world. The next one, we're surrounded today by entrepreneurial, technology-enabled competitors, particularly in places like India, which excels at entrepreneurship. And of course, these organizations are unfettered by the baggage of legacy bureaucracy. And the next one, we're surrounded by information-enabled customers who, unlike when I was a marketing and sales director of a fast-moving consumer goods company many years ago, our customers today know more about us than we know about them. The bottom line on it, ladies and gentlemen, and the conclusion is that those who most effectively act in the customer's interests will be the ones who thrive and survive. So let me get started with some advice. You will see from this graphic that over 40 years of research, and incidentally that research, I've got 127 scholarly references to back it up, into the link between long-run financial success and excellent marketing strategies reveal the following. And the excellent strategies are the bullet points on the left. Let me quickly deal with the points on the right, and I'll get those out of the way with one word: product. Product, product, product. Everyone talks about products, but the reality is, and research shows today, that all products in the world are excellent, so it is highly unlikely that any organization will get any differential advantage by having a good product, because all products are excellent. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to get differential advantage by understanding these points on the left. And just very briefly, the first one is understanding markets in depth. Second one is targeting proper needs-based segments, not that nonsense about socioeconomics and demographics and the like, but proper needs-based segments. Making a specific offer to each segment, and this is the bottom line on it all, apart from, of course, anticipating the future as opposed to just reacting to it. The penultimate bullet point here is have clear differentiation, positioning, and branding. And I'll say more about branding in a few moments' time. This next point is a blinding glimpse of the obvious. In times like this, times of recession, we have to be ruthless. And you'll recognize this as the Lorenz curve, Pareto's law, the 80-20 rule. And we know that, generally speaking, the rule applies that about 20% of the input that you put in will result in 80% of the desired results. But I mean, I give you a quick example. When I was running a business school some years ago, I was getting very stressed because of the workload, and I decided to listen to my own teaching. So I made a note of everything I'd been doing, decisions I was taking over a 3-month period. Then one weekend, I analyzed them under certain headings, and guess what I discovered? Yes, of course, the 20% of the decisions I'd been making delivered about 80% of the benefits to the business school. What had I been doing? How had I been running my life? I'd been marmalading myself across the whole of the in-tray, and not prioritizing the way I should do. And after that, I must say the productivity went up and the benefits to the business school went up. So it's exactly the same in business, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the point. You've got to identify at times like this your core market of primary customers. And if you can delight this group with selected differential offers, you'll have a resilient customer base. But trying to delight everyone with all of your offers guarantees average service that would delight no one. You could, if you wanted, have a company motto that says the good thing about being mediocre is you're always at your best, and nobody wants to be like that. So the point is, I'll just say it again, trying to delight everyone with all of your offers guarantees average. I'll get to my penultimate slide, and these are, I mean, there are obviously more than 6, but I've just put 6 of the ones that strike me as being very important at times like this. The first one is, and I've just mentioned this, focus on the markets and customers you want to keep in the long term. And this is most important. Understand the value required by customers, these customers, and quantify it financially. It's a remarkable statistic, ladies and gentlemen, that certainly in the UK, the research that I've done shows that about 3% of companies have financially quantified value propositions. And it makes me wonder what on earth marketers think their role is. And it's not surprising that so many customers buy on price because they can buy similar things everywhere. The third one, remember that profit is the result of doing something customers value. And of course, it's a poor company indeed that makes only profit. The fourth bullet point, value is what customers need, not what you're trying to sell them. And now, I said I'd come back to it. Yes, of course, reduce costs in unproductive areas of the business, most important, but do it with intelligence and with humanity. And the last point, another blinding glimpse of the obvious, don't do the wrong things well, do the right things well. And to summarize all of this, keep the heart of products, key customers, and I'll say a few things about this in a moment. Above all, protect your brand. And this is my last slide, which I hope you will find motivating, ladies and gentlemen. All 6 of these guidelines are represented by your brand and will lead to relationships that are great for customers, great for the people who make them happen, great for all stakeholders, and great for the planet. What in business could be more satisfying than achieving this? And so I go away smiling. Great brands will always shine bright and give us hope in the dark cloud of COVID-19. So let us all look forward with optimism and enthusiasm to the post-COVID era. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep working hard and keep smiling, and I wish you a happy conference. Thank you for listening to me.